Okay, we're on.
It's the Sini-Gang with l-boogy.
Sterno Supernova?
And Brother Butterfly.
What's going on there, peoples?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
You know what's happening.
What's happening?
Do tell.
I am now driving to work in the morning in the dark, and I am starting to come home
in the dark.
I was concerned. Like there's something that we need to be worried about. I'm like, you're just talking about the seasons changing.
That time.
Like, it's like, you know what's happening? We're about to be persecuted by people, roving mobs of angry, I don't know.
Well, I'm sad.
Vegans or something. I don't know.
Making me sad.
Oh.
Summer's going away.
Uh-huh.
Sunlight's going away.
Yeah.
Days are shorter. I'm doing less things.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to fit stuff in though. I'm trying to fit in everything in these last few days of.
Like, what do you got? What's left? What are you trying to fit in? I don't get
know.
it.
Just whatever pops up and do it, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of like, nah, I'll wait till next season, you know?
All right.
Yeah. So,
man, I feel for you, Boogie. I feel for you.
And it just gets worse because daylight savings time is coming up. It hasn't hit yet, but when daylight saving time comes up, we're bumping our clocks back. So now I'm going to work like at, let's say, 6 in the morning. Now I'm going to work when it looks like 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
been there, done that.
I still don't agree with that whole daylight savings thing.
It's pointless. Get rid of it now. I mean, maybe it was poignant back in the day when it was first implemented, but
back with the farmers. But who farms nowadays?
Farmers, but
there's no such thing.
Wasn't it supposed to save like lantern stuff, oil or candle wax or something?
I don't know.
Something. It was like
something menial like that.
It was something from Benjamin Franklin to make everything. I don't know. I forget what something like that. I don't even remember. So I don't know.
I mean, other countries don't have daylight savings times, right? I mean, some do, maybe.
I don't know. I know China has one time zone. That's all I remember.
Which is awesome.
Well, no, because it's so big that like certain different people are, you know, like the sun is different places for people, but it's the same time. The entire.
It doesn't. Yeah. Let's take the United States for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When we know it's 6 o'clock in California, we know it's 9 o'clock in Virginia.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Does that matter? No. Just make it 6 o'clock in Virginia too. What would that change if you make it 6 o'clock in California and 6 o'clock in Virginia at the same time? Does that bother you? Of course, it's pitch black at 6 o'clock now.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm so sad now that we're. Yeah, I was like, well,
we can flip it. We can make it 9 o'clock in California.
I don't know. With time zones, that would definitely affect the amount of daylight.
Yeah.
Not if you flip it to 3 hours ahead.
We would get more daylight.
We're all in California.
We stay the same. California has to bump their time to 3 hours. I mean, you always, watching TV and they're saying, new show comes up 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
Or 5 West, 5
Central Mountain, whatever, Western
Pacific.
Yeah, we have to do the math on our heads.
Yeah.
It's useless. It really makes no sense to me.
Okay.
It's just you just got to get in the right frame of mind that yes, now I'm going to be.
Well, would
watching.
you want it to be all on Zulu time, all on Greenwich Mean, like do it that way so the entire world's on the same time?
Sure. Why not?
Why not? I think
one watch, one world,
and that's where we went wrong, man.
One people.
We started altering time, and then we thought we had all this kind of power that we could alter everything else, man. So
exactly.
Like no. If time was just consistent for everybody, and we couldn't alter things, we'd be
united.
And one people in the dark or in the
or the day,
and homelessness and poverty. Just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I mean, I'm always saying, hey, what time is it in Singapore?
Yeah, just the other day. Gee, what time is it in Singapore?
Exactly. I don't know. They're like 13 hours, 14 hours. I don't know. Exactly. So people say, "Hey, what time is it in Mozambique?" It's like, first I gotta find Mozambique on a map, and then I gotta find their time zone.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I could just say it's 6 o'clock here, so hence it's 6 o'clock there. One time.
I guess it would be simpler, but
it's still it gets pretty difficult. I mean,
it's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
You just got to say, "Hey, I am going to be eating dinner now at 3 a.m." That's all. It's a mindset.
That's a big mindset.
No, I mean, still the sun will be out if this is your time,
right?
The sun will be the hottest at 3 a.m. You gotta go to sleep at I don't know, that would make it 2 p.m. Closing time at the bar will be at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Everybody, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Oh my goodness.
Just a mindset. You were stuck in a mindset that midnight is 12 p.m. But now we can change it. Midnight can now be 2 a.m. or 1 p.m. depending on where you're at.
Okay.
Man, things to think about.
You might think it's funny.
No, I'm just
people laughed at the guy who created this damn time zone thing, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they laughed at it. They're probably like, hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That way we're all like, we go by the sun.
We can have breakfast at the same time, lunch at the same time.
Based on the sun when there's light.
We can have normal lives.
Well, if you want to base it on the sun, why don't we do time zones? Why don't we cut the U.S. into 15 time zones rather than 4? Because
you're the one complaining about having to calculate for
exactly.
Well,
you reduce it to 1. Now you make it 15.
No, I'm just saying if that's your reason for saying, hey, noon should be when the sun is exactly overhead. It's not exactly overhead when it's noon in Virginia and noon in Tennessee, which is, I believe, the same time zone, or even
I guess so.
Even farther closer to like Chicago Central. But, that far away. That's what I'm saying. 15 time zones. That is like every hour. Everyone gets their own.
So I'm in time zone A. You're in time zone D. So we have, do the calculations. Because if you start going like, what would you call the other one? 15. That's a lot of zones to name.
You can always name it whatever you want. You can name it Bob.
You just
You'll be in time zone Bob.
And you're in time zone Ralph. And you just do whatever.
Yeah, still, I'm still all for the one time zone.
We could have mascots for the time zones and stuff too, man.
Oh, are you on the time zone of the ram? The time zone,
mm-hmm. The orca.
The orca. He goes orca. I didn't even.
I don't know. O or 0 was just stuck in my head.
Oh.
I mean, you're not bothered by area codes or zip codes, are you? No.
And there's thousands of those.
Yeah. There's a lot of those. You don't complain, hey, there's 100 zip codes here.
There's arguments that can be making about it. It's not coming to me right now. I'm just like, that's why I'm laughing. Like, damn it, he's just saying this crap and I can't refute any of it.
Because it's powerful.
The 1 zone or the 15 zone to the what are we talking? What's powerful? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know. I just feel for Biggie Boogie's plight here, man, of having to go to work in the dark, man. So
it all started with that. Yeah.
It's psychological too.
It is, man. Like, dang, I see no daylight.
Right, that's true.
Because especially if you're working in the office building,
you
go in, it's dark. You go inside, and you step out, it's dark. Like, dang.
Yep, missed all the daylight.
So that's just my thinking.
Right.
One time zone, people.
One time zone, one love, whatever. One, like you said, one people. All
right. What else do we got on the agenda?
I didn't even know time zones was on the first agenda.
So it's been a pretty eventful weekend for us over here, right? We did see Joe Coy on Friday.
Joseph.
So what did you guys think of it?
Funny guy, man.
I mean, you know, I talk about him all the time on this podcast. How I listen to his podcast all the time, and we've seen him multiple times.
Yeah, I think what, third or fourth time, I guess,
around there,
something like that.
So he's obviously, I'm a big fan. I think he's one of the most prominent Filipino Americans today. There are very few out there, and he is one of the few, and he's up there. He's reaching the ranks of number one Filipino American. If we were going to rank,
you mean well, before years ago with like Manny Pacquiao was number one.
He's Filipino American.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao's not Filipino American.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot the American part.
Man, you're
I'm not on the ball. Give me a break. I've been off the ball since yesterday. You thought we were playing board games. You thought what happened to me.
Yeah.
Right now, there's Joe Coy. There's Dante Basco.
Wow, you're
see?
Wow, yeah, that's true, man. Dang,
it's not hard. It's not a hard argument to make, man.
But we talked about athletes before.
Yeah, there's athletes. You got your athletes. You got JR.
Are they really standing out like right now? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Mainstream right now? No. This guy's mainstream.
I mean, you got some of your actors out there.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I guess that's a good point. So when people think Filipino American, they're like, hey, Joe Coy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so right now he's up there. So
maybe by himself. You know?
I know. We're having trouble coming up with a number 2, 3.
But I'm just saying, you know. So the fact that we see his act, and it's awesome to see the his rise to prominence, I guess.
Yeah, because when we were seeing him, he was not that. He was there, but he wasn't like.
And he was like
what he is now.
Right.
I think the first time me and Sterno saw him was 2007, maybe.
I'm not sure.
I want to say 2007.
I do not recollect.
Mid 2000s.
It was 2007. And he was at the local comedy club. I knew who he was because I actually seen him on the Tonight Show, whatever, wearing his Filipino shirt, Filipino jacket, and I heard he was in town, and then one day I said, "Hey Sterno, hey,
Brother Butterfly."
No, I didn't say that.
Dang. I know. I don't think I get it.
Well, I was living with Sterno, and Sterno came home.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were living in the same place.
We were living together, and then I was sitting on the couch, and Sterno comes home. I said, "Hey Sterno, what are you doing tonight?" He's like, "Nothing." I was like, "You want to see a Filipino dude at the comedy club?" He's like, "Yeah, whatever." I
had no idea.
Actually, you were like, I don't know. I said, "We're going."
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, you were sort of not wanting to go.
I don't think
I sort of forced you.
I don't think I had any inkling of like his comedy.
Yeah, you didn't know nothing about him. Right, I sort of forced you. I said, "The Filipino dude, we got to support."
Yeah, that's like your.
Let's go.
Yeah, when you say that, I usually like, okay, yeah, right, yeah, sure.
So we went to the comedy club. It was 3/4 full, not sold out. The comedy club's not that big.
Yeah.
So and then
this was the Funny Bone, right?
Yes, this is at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach. He does his act. No Filipino jokes, which was cool in a way. In a way, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because
I think he had like the minor one, like, yeah, people wonder what I am, and he just said I'm Filipino American or something like that.
I remember he joked flip flops a lot that show. Remember, there's a dude sitting in the front row wearing flip flops. And then the very first comedian joked him about the flip flops, and the second comedian, who I believe is Chris D'Elia. Chris, he's a big time actor now. But back then he was the opening act for Joe Coy. But he jumped on the flip flop joke and kept joking that guy for wearing flip flops.
Oh.
And then Joe Coy, half his act.
Was that the one where he's like, "Why? Like it's cold outside. Why are you all wearing short sleeves?"
I don't know.
Okay. That. And then one girl like her farts smell like strawberries.
Yeah, I think that is.
Okay. All right.
But we're just saying, you know. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 3/4 full, but not sold out. And Joe Coy was sitting on the back of the
oh, yeah.
He was sitting behind us.
That's right. I forgot
like
about
a few tables behind us watching the opening acts.
Yeah.
While he was waiting his turn to go up.
Yeah. That's right.
It was so casual.
Well, yeah.
I think we spent $10 to get in.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And then 3 years later, actually, we met him after the show. We walked, you know.
Yeah.
We went up to him and he apologized to us. He said, "Hey guys," and we said, "Hey, we're Filipino."
Oh my
and then
gosh,
he said, he said to us, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't do any of my Filipino jokes." And I said, "It's all cool. In fact, that makes it even better. The fact that you're not basing your comedy on Filipino jokes."
Yeah.
which is what his act is now. But,
yeah, that's true.
But the fact that he did it there, he made us, die laughing, just not joking about Filipinos. Just didn't pigeonhole him into the Filipino comedian.
Yeah,
it's sort of what it's sort of in a way what Next Navarrete got.
Yeah,
pigeonholed into. He's the Filipino comedian.
I haven't heard anything recently from him, so I don't know what he's doing now.
I follow him all the time.
Yeah,
so
okay.
He does stuff, but so yeah, we saw that. We thought it was cool. We took pictures with him.
Yeah,
back when he was no name.
Didn't we give him a shirt or something? I forgot.
No, we gave him nothing.
Oh, that was the second time. I think we gave him something.
I didn't give him nothing. Oh, did you?
I thought we gave him something.
Roses.
I didn't give him nothing.
A card.
I didn't even talk to him the second time we saw him.
Okay, I thought we gave him something.
Because the second time we saw him was in 2010 when Brother Butterfly came this time. Which this time the Funny Bone was packed.
Right.
Out the door. It was standing room only.
Okay.
So that was, and we sat again in the front this time. I remember that.
I know, I was worried.
Sat in the front.
Big guy in the front, like, man, don't do anything. Don't look at me. Don't start.
You're just paranoid.
I am. Paranoid. For comedians, I am paranoid. Like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. I flashback to the Nutty Professor and all that crap. So I'm like, I don't want to be the object of
the butt of jokes.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
So yeah, he was again funny that time, and like I said, at that time the meet and greet, the after the show, the line to meet him was like long. That's why I didn't stand in the line. I said, "Yo, we met him already. Took pictures. We're good." I thought we were nearby, and I do think we went to the restaurant down the street, and he showed up after. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't.
The Red Star. He showed up to Red Star after.
Oh, I don't remember Red Star. No. I mean, I know the restaurant, but I remember him showing up.
Yeah, we're still in a comedy club. It was packed, sold out. And he hasn't been to Virginia in 8 years. So 2018, now he's big time. Yeah. Now he has Netflix. Now he used to be on TV all the time, Chelsea Lately, big time podcasts. And
I mean, he even explained how he got to the the Netflix thing, so that was cool.
Yeah. And now we're at an arena.
Yeah.
And now we're spending
way more than $10.
Not $10.
Like $10 is like, man, I would love it if it's $10.
$10 don't get you in the door. This time.
We'd be in the lobby, like listening to a speaker or something. Okay, here's your $10. He might walk by just really briefly as he gets out of the arena or something.
But it's awesome to see that rise from from where he was to where he is now. I mean, he just won some comedian award, being the stand-up comedian of the year 2018 by some prominent I don't know, the magazine or company, I don't know. But he got something. So yep, we saw him. He's hilarious. He's funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's also funny when you look at all his, he has a lot of his stuff on YouTube that see the progression of how he, his delivery, his subject matter. It's just, you can tell how he's gotten so much better. I mean, he wasn't bad to begin with, don't get me wrong, but he's on, he's the top of his game right now, which is awesome.
And again, I'd say if you're a Joe Coy fan, and he's not, but if you really love him and want to hear more, you should listen to his podcast every week, The Coy Pond. He puts it out every Thursday, I believe. The Coy Pond, him, and he just talks about his life. And then basically you listen enough, you hear the jokes being built that end up in his comedy act. I mean, you've heard some episodes starting off.
Yeah,
so you know how some of this comes about. Yeah. So,
I mean, you also get an idea. He also gives you a glimpse of the business. Like you keep talking about how it is to be a comic, not just the joke part of it, which is, I find that interesting too.
Yeah. I mean, I heard his whole Netflix story several times already. So when we were at the show and he talks about it, it's like, I already know this.
This part of the show does not concern me.
Yes.
He won a Gemini Award for Best Individual Performance in a Comedy Program or Series, just so you want to clarify.
What year is that?
Crap.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm talking about Stand-Up Comedian of the Year.
Oh. Well, never mind. That was an old one. Shoot.
Exactly.
Man, I just put award in Joe Coy. So that's why I came up.
So, but the show this time, like I said, he's in an arena. Thousands of people this time. And this time, thousands of Filipinos.
God, no.
Which was crazy. The first time we were the only two Filipinos in the Funny Bone. And now it's like half of the Filipino population was there.
Yeah, because I mean, when we got into the venue, I was looking around. I was like, I see people I know, but I see so many Filipinos, I can't like individually see. I know the people out there, and I know they can't see me because it's like a wave. I mean, a sea of brown or whatever. It's certain people you can see if they're close enough to you, but it's just like there were so many people I knew there that I only found out were there afterwards because of they're posting on social media. I was like, wow.
And he's got his face on a bus. He's big time.
All right.
But what did you think of the show?
I love the show. I was surprised how long he stayed in the raunchy stuff. I know he had it in his set, but he stayed on there for a while. And then I also got the part where he was kind of going. It seemed like he was just going off top of his head or just working out some new material, which I thought was cool. And I did laugh at it. You saw me. You thought I was laughing way too much. But anyway, I enjoyed it a lot. So,
Brother Butterfly.
Yeah, definitely. Went in there. Yeah, and prior to going to, I seen the Netflix special maybe 3 times, and then I saw it the night before just to refresh things I've seen.
Yeah,
did a couple YouTube stuff, and I went in there. I was like, man, I was wondering if he was gonna make me genuinely laugh, man. And
so you went in there in your mind. You challenged Joe Coy.
I challenged him.
You challenged him.
Make me genuinely
You
laugh.
make me laugh.
I don't want to just laugh because everybody else is laughing in the audience, But he did. And I mean, there's points where I couldn't even take the smile off my face. I'm like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah, because a friend of ours that lives in California, he was always asking, how come you like Joe Coy? I don't think he's that funny. And then he did go to a show in San Jose. And he said he could not stop laughing. He was on the floor. His belly was hurting. And he's like, I get it now. He's hilarious. It's one thing when you're there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's. I don't want to say it's something every Filipino should do or every Filipino-American needs to see Joe Coy.
But they should. That's what you're getting back to, right?
It's like, to me, it's like seeing Eddie Murphy in the 80s. Or Richard Pryor in the 70s. It's like
at their high point.
It's almost historical in a way.
I can see that, yeah.
In a way.
I mean, I was really happy when he said he liked this area and he wants to come back. I was like, yes. I mean, like you said, we've seen it so many times, but I still, if he keeps giving new material, instead of, I was worried that it might be a lot of like recycled jokes or, I didn't know what he was going to do. So. But when it's all like, there was only a couple things that kind of hinted at old stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Which is fine. I mean, you should flash back to some.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah. So that was good. I just didn't want there's some comedians, they have certain jokes that they have to go through as the same, or
He actually talks about this on his podcast. He talks about how actually all of his shows are different. I mean, he has certain jokes, but he doesn't do like the same set every city. He always gauges the crowd or whatever. And he sometimes he makes up a lot of it up on stage, but he says if you're in one city, he does 3 shows. All 3 shows will be different, and so you can buy a ticket for all 3 shows, and you won't get the same jokes all 3 shows. But where was I going with this?
I don't know. Recycled jokes. That's where I started.
Yeah. So. But the thing is, he is going to have 2 more Netflix shows specials coming out, coming soon. So a lot of the jokes that we heard will be on those specials. So that that way you'll know. Hey, but I mean, a lot of comedians do it like that now. Your Chris Rocks and your Dave Chappelle's. They do it the same way. And that's how you know they're good.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be a Netflix special. You want to bring your best jokes to
the polished jokes.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't mind hearing it again, but I'm sure he'll perform it even better.
Oh yeah.
But he also hates when people ask him to do jokes.
Oh.
He hates. He talks about this on the podcast.
The ting joke.
He says, and he even said it in our show. He's because if you don't know the ting joke, he jokes back in 2007.
Yeah,
when we heard the joke about his son at the time who was 3.
Something like that, yeah.
His 3-year-old kid at the time was talking, like, hey, look at my ting, which is funny.
Yeah.
When you're talking about 3-year-old, and he's like, hey, my kid's 15 now.
Yeah, so it's like
it's no longer called a ting ting.
right.
And he actually said that, and he hates it when people yell out a crowd out of the crowd. And Angela Johnson, I don't know if you know Angela Johnson.
Yeah, the one that does the Vietnamese nail
yes,
salon stuff.
She hates it when people yell, "Hey, do the Vietnamese nail salon joke."
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of too. Because
exactly
that was their big thing though for a while.
That's what. Yeah, it's big. It went viral.
Right.
She hates it when people ask her to do it. It's like, hey, you already know the joke. Why are you asking me to do it? You know.
Yeah, I remember hearing something. It's like some comedian saying that in a way it's weird because people that are musical, they can play their songs over and over again. People love it. But if you're comedic and you say the same jokes, some people will like, oh great, but other people will be like, I've heard this already. Why am I hearing this again? So yeah, I get that. It's just they can say the jokes a little bit, but after a while they gotta retire some jokes and move on.
Yeah. Like I said, that was 2007. I mean, that's 11 years ago.
It's like asking a basketball star. It's like, hey, man, can you hit that game-winning shot one more time, right in front of us real quick, man?
Well, the thing with jokes is you don't know what's coming. You don't know that's what makes it funny.
That's exactly punchlines.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you know the joke is coming, it's sort of not funny.
Like, oh.
Yeah,
but people will still laugh because some people laugh at everything, which is what Brother Butterfly was getting at. Some people will laugh at anything, but he was like genuinely make me laugh, which I believe he succeeded with.
He did wholeheartedly, man. So props to Joe Coy.
Yeah,
and besides his being a performer, just meeting him, down to earth guy, man.
Yeah, absolutely
down to earth guy.
Yep, he loves meeting his fans. He does it all the time.
I know. I was just thinking how many people he had to do selfies with after the show. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, just follow him. Follow his Instagram. He's always showing when he's walking the crowds and stuff and meeting people. Like there's a popular one where there's a kid walking around and he's like, hey, where's your mom? And he's like back there. So he sort of takes the kid under his wings and walks with him and talks to him for a while. It's real cool. And then you can also see some of his funny stuff where he's actually doing funny YouTube clips kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, check out his podcast.
That's one thing I didn't realize that. I mean, I'm sure I knew it was out there. I just never really had the gumption to follow it. Now that's one of the things I'm gonna subscribe and follow now. So.
The Koi Pond is what it's called. Yeah, and then like he talks about his sister all the time, and sometimes his manager and his bus driver, and then so when we finally when we're at the show, I say, hey, there's his sister Gemma,
you can point them out in the crowd.
Exactly. Yeah. Like she's working the merch booth.
Has his mom attended the show? Did you see his mom at the show, man?
Not at our show. Okay. She lives in Vegas, I believe. So
something like Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a funny video where his mom's
the radio show one or the one where he's like they're at a buffet.
The buffet one, yeah, that one's funny. But yeah, he's good about telling Filipino jokes without joking Filipinos, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he knows how, because there's a fine line. It's a really fine line. You don't want about joking Filipinos and sensitively and racially and stereotype.
Feeding into the stereotype, mocking our own people. But it's more like this is a common experience that we had growing up.
Yeah, and a lot of it's because he's joking himself, which I think makes it work.
Yeah,
it's the fact that he's joking himself. I mean, a lot of the jokes are about his life and his insecurity.
And because he talks about his life and it's so funny, and I relate to a lot of it. It makes me feel like I could just go on stage and talk about my life and people will laugh at me, man.
We'll do it. Do it now. Let's say. Let's say your opening act. Like dun, 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 dun. Here's Brother Butterfly.
I don't do jokes this way, man.
How do you do jokes then? I'm confused.
In front of a live audience, man.
We're not dead.
There is an audience listening. Thousands of people listening right now.
I have to feel the energy, man.
We have energy, yeah.
No, you don't. I have to feel the
butterfly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, make me laugh.
I'm performing now, man. Yeah, but I don't have a set.
You suck, boo.
Okay. I walked into a bar the other day.
It's funny stuff, man. Funny stuff.
And I walked right out.
Yeah. Man.
But what do you think you could do a open mic night? Like if we did an open mic
I've been
night.
challenged a couple times, and every time I've been asked, I've always turned it down just because of the fear. The fear that maybe I ain't that.
He's talked about that on his podcast too, about like certain people
he's always pushing people. He's like, you just got to do it.
Well, I heard one where he was talking about a new comic that was all excited about it, and then he pulled strings and got this comic in front of the mic, and the person just flaked because they couldn't take it. And he's like, everybody wants to be a star, but people don't put.
But it also happens to all of them too.
Yeah.
They when they first started, they all bombed.
Right.
They were all terrible.
Yeah, he talked about his own experiences.
Yeah, when he was a kid and just sneaking out to the comedy clubs and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said the first time he ever did it, like he went home and wanted to cry because it was so bad.
See, and I don't want to go home and cry right now, man. I mean, I came here just to chit chat, have a nice friendly conversation with you guys here, man. And you're gonna put me on the spot, and I'm gonna go home crying, man.
We're still on the same freaking show. It's not like it's any different. It's the same show. You get your free your mindset or whatever.
Mindset. I'm in the same time zone. One people,
one love, whatever.
You did say you were inspired to be able to do it yourself.
The inspiration evaporated or something just because we put him on the spot.
I do have I did have a really good friend in high school. Everyone said he was like the funniest guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the class clown. Everyone loved him. So yeah, we did the talent show and he told jokes and he was terrible. I felt so bad for him. There was nothing funny at all.
Ooh.
None of it was funny.
Ouch.
And and I don't think he ever did that again in his life.
But that's not for you, Butterfly. You can do way better than that.
And that's what's gonna leave a lasting scar right there, man. I was like, dang, man, no.
You're old now, so you should be tough. I don't know.
I should be hardened like a callus.
Yes.
Man.
Impenetrable.
Indomitable.
That's not even a word.
It is. I concur.
So yeah. The opening act was Chase DeRusso, who's also recently been on the podcast a lot, and he is. And you guys loved him, right?
Yeah,
you guys thought he was funny.
Yeah, I do.
He's the black guy from Houston.
Yeah,
and
he was actually the second opening one, but yeah.
So to me, I mean, I actually died laughing on the podcast because some of his stuff is funny, like his actual real stories,
right?
So when I'm hearing him, his regular act, it's it's okay, but I know when he's really funny, it kills me.
Yeah, but we have nothing to measure against it like you do, so it was just first experience with his comedy. So I was like, I was laughing. I was like when he was done, I was like, oh man, my cheeks are already hurt, and Joker hasn't even come out yet. It's gonna be bad. Because I was laughing so hard. So I was like, oh man,
the pain.
But I will deal with it. I'm happy to be here. So
it is adult content.
Oh yeah.
Because a friend of ours wanted to bring her 13-year-old kid.
I wanted to bring my 3-year-old.
My cousin brought her 12-year-old son, and
the ticket says 12 and up.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
no.
But I did say, hey, I don't think you should be bringing a 13-year-old kid.
No.
Unless, the kid's, ready to have sex. Then
that's
maybe
straight up true. Yeah.
Sure. Because I do get a little I feel a little uneasy when I see like a kid and he's there talking about swinging his dick around.
Apprehensive.
Yeah.
But then I also feel uneasy when I see the 80-year-old aunties and the grandmothers, the nanas in the crowd also.
That's us because we don't think of them that way, but they became grandmothers somehow. They were young. Yeah. Somehow they became grandmothers. It's not like what happened? We don't understand what happened.
So you would be okay if your mom was at the show with you?
No, I would not. I'm just saying that's us.
Not with me, no. But if she decided to go by herself, or with a group of her own friends,
or sat away from me, that's okay.
And then we talked about it later. Hey, I saw that too. Yeah, that was good, mom.
Because we're projecting our own, like, oh no, parents shouldn't hear this stuff, which is dumb. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
I remember
I couldn't talk like that in front of my mom. I couldn't get on stage and talk about some of the stuff with my mom in the audience, though.
I can't even cuss in front of my mom.
All right. I'm like, dang, Mom, let me just get off the stage now. My mom's in the audience.
I remember in the 80s, back when we had to rent VHS tapes to watch something.
Uh-oh.
In fact, we had to go to In the 80s, I was young. We had to go. We went to the local supermarket, and the supermarket had a video rental section. So it's weird. It's just so old. It's so dated. But the video rental section at the supermarket had a counter. They had a book. You open up the book. You read the titles of the videos they have in the department,
and they would pick it out for you.
You write the number on a piece of paper of the video you want.
Wow.
And you tell the clerk, and he goes to a little drawer or cabinet, and then he finds the number, pulls it out, and rents you the video for $3-4.
Wow. And
at the time I was underage in the 80s, so I every week my mom would take me to the video store, and I'd rent a movie. Sometimes I'd rent anything.
Three Amigos.
Yeah. In fact, one time, and I hate this guy. I hate this guy to this day. This clerk. One time I went to rent a movie called Rumblefish. One of my favorite movies ever of all time is Outsiders.
Okay.
Outsiders. You know that movie. It had Rob Lowe, and it has Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, it has Daniel LaRusso. Outsiders. One of my favorite movies of all time. It was written by an author named S.E. Hinton. Well, she also wrote other books. And they turned the Outsiders became real popular. They did another movie on another one of her books called Rumblefish, starring Matt Dillon. So the movie came out. It was rated R. And I said I wanted to rent it. So the clerk brought it out and said, "Oh, Rumblefish, this is rated R and not for kids." And he said it to my mom. Like I can't believe you're renting this for your kid. So she went and paid for it, and then I brought it home, and I popped it in the VHS, the VCR, the video camera recorder machine. And
did you have a copy that you were making at the same time?
No, we started watching it, and it was in black and white, and then there was like a fight scene in the beginning, and my mom said, "Turn that off." She said, "Turn it off. It's in black and white. It's not for kids." I don't know why.
Black and white.
It didn't make sense, but I think the clerk got in her head that the movie's not for kids. And I've read the book. It's nothing bad. They might say a couple curse words. They're fighting.
There's a sex scene?
I don't think so. I never saw the movie, so
yeah.
I don't know if they put one in.
That's the whole point of the story. Okay, yeah, you never saw the movie.
And I got mad at that guy. But
time for you to see Rumblefish, man.
I know, right?
I heard it sucked. But also at this time, later on, I rented a movie. I mean, a stand-up comedy act from a guy named Eddie Murphy. You may have heard of him.
Oh, which one?
Called Raw.
Okay.
Raw. Exactly, it was
Raw.
So I rented it, popped it in the VCR.
Laughed at every joke.
And it started. I don't know if you've ever seen Raw.
I've seen Raw.
It starts off with a scene. It's not on stage yet. It starts off in a house. I can't remember who the actors are, but I know they're famous.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They are now. It might have been Jaleel White. I don't remember. No.
Really?
No, but it's in a house. It's a family, a black family sitting around, and the little boy gets up in front of the family and wants to tell a joke. He tells a joke about a lion. I can't remember the joke, but basically he tells a joke about a lion pulling out his dick and peeing on everybody. It's hilarious. And the family's shocked, like, oh shit. And it turns out it's supposed to be Eddie Murphy as a kid. And then I am laughing hard. My dad, he's also sitting there with me laughing hard. He can't stop laughing.
Right? I'm telling you, that was hilarious, man.
So we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden the act starts. And then, Rock, he comes out, and he's hilarious, but Eddie Murphy's nothing but,
F-bombs here.
Yes.
F-bombs
Yeah.
And we're both laughing hard. Me and my dad. And I can't remember what the joke was, but he said one joke that was so nasty. So nasty. My dad was laughing and saying, "Turn that off. Turn it off." Because he's mad at me for watching this. I mean, I was maybe in my teens. I don't remember when Raw came out, but he was laughing so hard, but he knew I shouldn't be watching it. Even I was like, man, I shouldn't be watching it. But I remember I finished Raw later, not with him, but,
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But at the time, we were sharing that experience.
Stop! Turn it off.
That's bad.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I would take him. I'd definitely take him to watch Joe Coy with me today.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't.
I wouldn't sit with him.
You sit over there, Dad.
Seriously, I wouldn't.
You sit in the back.
No, I mean same row, just different seats.
3 people apart. What's the difference?
I don't know, but
punching distance away, man.
Yeah, I just
in case his dad be like, I can't believe.
Yeah, exactly. I need a little bit of a buffer. That's all. That sketch you mentioned is Tatiana Ali and Samuel Jackson. Yeah,
Tatiana Ali.
Yeah, I didn't see any other big names that came out.
I can't remember who the kid was, but I remember they ended up being popular.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, like
what happened to him?
Somebody, I don't know. I don't know if anything came of him. Whatever.
Yeah, he was the dad. He was like in shock. Like, what the hell?
Was this before or after Coming to America?
That's before.
Yeah, I want to say it's before. Yes, it's definitely before.
Way before.
Because I went to the movie theaters to watch Coming to America. I mean, I went to the theaters, bought my own ticket.
Oh. It's only like a year before. Like, well, when they were released anyway.
Okay. But when you're 13, 14, that's a long time. Coming to America. I loved Coming to America. I saw that 3 times in the theaters.
It's one of those movies. If I see it on TV, I have to fight not to sit and watch. A lot of it. So I don't know, certain parts. It's just a fun movie. Man, I don't know. Yeah, definitely wouldn't sit it next to my parents with Joe Coy. I'd feel uncomfortable.
But the thing is, it was so awesome to look at the crowd and see all the families there.
Oh yeah, that was true. That's true.
You saw all the people bringing in their parents, all the aunties, the nanas, the uncles.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part where he's joking the stereotypical Filipino aunt, and I was looking and I saw like 4 or 5 people that actually fit everything he was describing. Like, this description. I don't want to give away his joke, but it's just like, wow, because they're all like so common, but everybody's just laughing their head off. I mean, I even saw your coworker that was working the scene. Did you watch him? He was dying laughing too on a lot of that stuff. So he's a white guy. He's a white guy, so he's just laughing at everything.
Yeah, he likes comedy acts anyway, so I knew he would like him. But I do wonder how other races perceive him. Like I always wonder, hey, does this Spanish person next to me get the jokes?
Right.
Or does that white lady over there, will she like this? And now that there's a lot of Filipino jokes. Well, in our set, he did a lot of Filipino jokes.
Right.
Because I was saying he was like he was in a podunk town the other night.
Rono? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but.
Oh, sorry.
He said podunk.
Yeah, so he was a place where there wasn't many Filipinos.
Right.
So I'm assuming he doesn't do the same Filipino jokes he did there that he did in Virginia Beach, which is probably 90% Filipino.
Right. I mean, he had to look out in the crowd going, "Yep, Filipino set." Obviously, I mean that's no.
Yeah.
There was no doubt.
Yeah. So when's your stand-up act, Brother Butterfly?
Don't look at me.
I have to review my material first, and then put them in some kind of order, man. And then
see, you just got to do it. You just got to say.
I have to think of some stuff, man. I mean, I can't just go up there and let me just think back about my life here.
It doesn't have to be about your life.
Man.
It could be about other people's lives. You can always talk about, I don't know, sports. Like, hey, how about them Raiders? They suck, don't they?
Wow.
That's not funny, man.
It's funny to me because they do suck.
It's not funny at all, man.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
I don't find that funny one bit.
Oh.
Keep seeing the ticker on the bottom, man. It's like less than a minute to go, man. We're losing.
Yeah, we're watching it. So
yeah.
But like, hey, what if there was a Filipino playing with the Raiders? Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Is that your impression of him doing his comedy act?
Yeah. This is me being Brother Butterfly, pretending to be a Filipino playing football for the Oakland Raiders. Oi, give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Putang na, block for me.
Ay, nako. Ang bola. Si Panang bola. That'd be it for me.
Yeah, no, we just use up whatever.
You get the hook.
Yeah. All right, so let's do a Tagalog word of the day.
Sure. This is a part of our show where we educate our listeners on the Filipino language. None of us here are actual native speakers of Filipino or Tagalog. So if we get some aspect of the word or phrase incorrect, like its usage or pronunciation or some part of its meaning, feel free to let us know because we value your feedback. But always keep in mind that we have said, we will say, and we will always say that we are not an educational, informational based podcast. Don't ever use this for reference. We're just doing this for fun so that you can maybe use a word sometime, or if someone uses the word, you know what they're talking about. Otherwise, feel free. Like I said, we want your feedback on these, on whatever we put out there, and especially if we did it wrong. But be nice about it, please. You guys got a word?
I don't know. My damn. I'll talk about it later. Tawa.
Tawa.
Tawa kami sa Jokoy. Tawa ang tawa si Sterno sa babae.
What?
Tawa.
Oh wait, you were saying that she's laughing at me.
No, I'm saying you're laughing at her.
Okay, I'm double checking. I was like, that's hurtful.
Masarap yung tawa ko.
So yeah. So if you didn't get tawa is laughter, I guess. So let's make tawa our
Word of the day. Tawa.
Tawa.
All right. Anything else?
I'm good.
All right, then. Make sure you visit our website, www.sini-gang.com.
Or email us at thesinigang@gmail.com.
Follow us on Twitter at The Sini-Gang.
Find us on Facebook on facebook.com/thesinigang. And look for our videos on YouTube. Do a search for our URL, www.sini-gang.com, and that should take you to our videos. And if you go there, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and that would be really awesome. So until next time, this is Sterno Supernova.
And this is Brother Butterfly.
And this is l-boogy, the Elemental One, saying thanks for listening and
Sige
na.
na.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. Tune in for our next episode. Till then, take care.